Flexi wings, one of the most controversial topics when it comes to car development in 2024, is very much spilling over into the start of the 2025, and the FIA is going to check the F1 wings before the Australian Grand Prix this weekend in Melbourne. So, full article on the F1 Chronicle, guys. Let's have a look at what is going on here in terms of the FIA kind of measuring of things and whether anybody is likely to be in trouble. Full article on f1chronicle.com, as always. A week before the 2025 season even starts, the first technical controversy has already emerged. Just a day before he jumps on a plane for the long haul to Melbourne, reigning world champion Max Verstappen insisted he is not the favourite. At the moment, there is only one team, and that is McLaren, he told Viaplay. For me, they are clearly ahead. The Dutchman revealed that Red Bull's winter was not all smooth sailing, adding that he can't imagine he will be fighting for the win on Sunday. Bumps and driving over curbs are still a problem, and the car tends to understeer too much for my liking, Verstappen added. Team advisor Dr. Helmut Marko fully agrees. Our car has improved, but it still has weaknesses, he told Österreich. If we can fix them for Australia, things won't look so bad. Red Bull's stance comes amid the team technical director Pierre Vacker's publicly aired concerns about the flexibility of the front and rear wings on two key rivals in particular. It is still going on, he said, amid reports Red Bull has complained to the FIA and may even be prepared to protest. I think Ferrari and McLaren are doing the DRS stuff still. FIA scrutineers were seen looking at the McLaren and Ferrari wing in detail at the pre-season test in Bahrain, and Italian reports now suggest that they may even attend those teams' respective factories prior to Melbourne for an even closer inspection. Tighter rear wing checks apply as of Melbourne, although the FIA will wait until Barcelona in June to clamp down harder on the flexibility of front wings. The change is not big enough to turn on the balance of power on its head, Williams boss James Vowles predicts. He also said attributing McLaren's current lead wing flexibility alone is a mistake. It is a coherent package in all areas, said Vowles. McLaren has simply understood the development direction of this type of car correctly. They very much have. I mean, they won the Constructors last year, of course. As you can probably tell, I was rather happy about that fact. But yeah, the DRS, so for those of you guys that aren't aware about what it was, or what it is, potentially still, it very much got spotted during the Italian Grand Prix last year and also Baku, two very high-speed tracks. Basically, what that does is that on the rear wing, there are aerofoils. There are multiple aerofoils. Aerofoils just being an aerodynamic device. So basically, like, I don't know how you just pieces of carbon fiber, pretty much. Like, there's several, and some of them open for DRS when it is actually activated during the race or during qualifying or during practice when you're in the zone and when you're behind a car, you know, it's less than a second ahead of you. Now, what the teams, well, not alleged, it was happening last year. What was spotted was that when the car got above a certain speed, the actual aerofoils would open up a little bit. And I'm not talking about DRS. I'm talking about like the two lowest ones, I think it was, on the rear wing. They would just open up a little bit. That would improve airflow, that would reduce drag. Therefore, it is a mini DRS, a mini drag reduction system. Now, that apparently was all pretty much got rid of after, was it Singapore? I think Singapore, they did kind of say, no, we can't do this anymore. Get rid of that. And there was controversy around it. You know, the FIA tried to inspect it after that, and they didn't find any wrongdoing from McLaren or Ferrari, because those were the two offenders. I think Mercedes were trying it as well, but it wasn't quite working as well for them. And Red Bull were losing a lot of time because of it, because they weren't doing it on their car, because they thought it was against the rules. McLaren said it was for the rules, and in the end, they just kind of settled it between them, really, at that point. Now, I haven't seen too much onboard footage from testing. I can't say whether they've still got it or not, but if they do have it or have something similar to it, then yeah, it's an interesting one, because basically the loophole is being closed from Barcelona, but it is not being fully closed yet. Now, to test whether the mini DRS is there, or to test basically if the rear wing is strong enough and rigid enough, they have to apply loads to a certain part of the wing to see how much it flexes. If it flexes too much, it is not within the regulations and therefore it is illegal. However, if it doesn't flex enough, even if at high speed you see a little bit of DRS coming up over there, then the load test, and the load test is still alright, then it's fine. That's my understanding of the regulations. But Obviously, people like Red Bull who are not doing it will say it is not in the spirit of the regulations. Of course they will. That is going to be their position. If the shoe was on the other foot, McLaren and Ferrari would be doing the exact same thing. That's how Formula One is. It is everybody's just grassing each other up constantly. Everybody's telling on each other to the FIA. Oh, sir, I've seen their rear wing. It's got a little mini DRS in there. Is that illegal, sir? They all do it. They all do it. I'm not having a go at Red Bull. I'm not having a go at McLaren or Ferrari. They all do it all the time. That is just Formula One. If you see someone taking what you think is or could be perceived as an unfair advantage, you tell the FIA and try and get them to sort it out. So we'll see. There's been no official protest yet. We'll see what happens. If Red Bull are miles off it in Australia, there may well be an official protest if there is evidence to suggest that mini is affecting performance. And around a track like Melbourne, Australia, where it is these days quite high speed, a lot of long straights and chicanes to break them up, the mini DRS, you would think, would actually really help McLaren out. You would think it would. But those are my kind of thoughts on it, guys. It's all about what you deem to be fair in Formula One. And for me, as long as you pass the technical regulations, you're fine. And we know that the technical regulations are changing in Barcelona in June. So it's not a problem that's going to affect a lot of the season, but obviously some of the season, a significant portion of it, the first third or so. Your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more Formula One news updates and opinions on the world of motorsport just like this. And yeah, hope we have a fantastic race in Melbourne, Australia this weekend. And is Max Verstappen being genuine there? Do you think he's got no chance of the victory on Sunday? He's always got a chance. You can't write him off. 4-time champion. Surely you can't write him off. But yeah, see you soon, guys. Have a great week ahead.